What if every truth, every lie, every fact, every opinion, every story, every song, everything that could ever be said or written, all of it was written down in a book? And what if this book existed somewhere? Well, actually it does. Welcome to the Library of Babel. I'm your host. This is a story about reality, knowledge, infinity, insanity, books. Maybe if you like, you can call this a story about YouTube videos. Every YouTube video that has ever been made, that will ever be made, is contained within the Library of Babel. This includes my video about why there can't be a video about all of YouTube. This video exists in the Library of Babel. In fact, every combination of letters that could ever be written also exists in the Library of Babel. That's because the Library of Babel contains every possible book. Every book that could be written, every book that will be written, every book that has ever been written. They're all in the Library of Babel. It's infinite. Now let me ask you a question. Let's say that 99.9999% of the books in this infinite library are total gibberish. Let's say that these books contain nothing but random combinations of letters. Does that mean that the remaining 0.0001% of books have meaning? The answer might surprise you. In a library where every possible book exists, including every combination of letters, the great majority, every combination of words are going to be gibberish. They don't make any sense. So if you wanted to find a book with meaning, how would you go about doing that? You might think that you would look for something like the English language, or maybe some words you recognize. But in this universe, every combination of letters exists. That means the word book appears randomly throughout the library in meaningless combinations. It's just a sequence of letters. It has no special significance. The same goes for words like meaning or gibberish. They're just random combinations of letters. Even the concept of a sentence is just a meaningless string of symbols. Since grammar is just a convention that we happen to agree on, everything is just a collection of meaningless symbols unless we choose to give them meaning. So let us say you were smart enough to realize this and decided to skip the random combinations of words. You only read the sequences of letters that actually meant something to you, like the word home. After all, if a word doesn't mean anything to you, then what's the point of reading it? Well, let's say that in this library, you run into a friend. Your friend might not recognize you right away, because after all, faces are just random combinations of features. Your friend might mistake your nose for a wart, your eyes for nostrils, and your mouth for a different mouth. How would you prove to your friend that you are you? Since everything is just random combinations of symbols, meaning is completely subjective. There is no inherent meaning in anything. All we have is the meaning that we choose to impose on things. This raises a serious question. Is meaning real, or is it completely subjective? But this isn't the end of the road. Let us say that you and your friend resolve your differences and you both decide to share your wisdom with the world by writing down everything that you know. That way you can help other people understand the universe and their place in it. Well, unfortunately, this isn't possible either. That's because the Library of Babel contains every truth and every falsehood, every scientific theory and every conspiracy theory, every possible opinion that could be written. So if every truth and every falsehood is already written, can truth even be recognized? We have no way of knowing if what we know is already in the Library of Babel because we co-UN check. It's impossible. We can't search through an infinite number of books. Okay? So let's give up on searching for the truth. Let us go back to our little corner and just read whatever random sequence of letters happens to float our way. After all, who cares if the book makes sense or not? It's just a collection of meaningless symbols. Right now we've stumbled upon an interesting paradox. On one hand, we seem to have arrived at a place where there is no knowledge, no opinions, no stories, nothing but random combinations of letters. But on the other hand, we have the ability to read these random combinations and form our own opinions about them. We can use our imagination to envision a world where these symbols actually mean something. Here's another problem with the Library of Babel. Let us say you're wandering around this infinite library and you want to find a good book to read. The sheer volume of books is so overwhelming that you can't even start your search. Without guidance, you're utterly lost. There are too many choices. You re-paralyzed by the infinite number of options, and ultimately you decide to leave the library without finding anything. This phenomenon has been described before. It is called choice paralysis, and it happens to us all the time in the real world when we re-faced with too many options. For example, let's say you want to watch a movie tonight. If there were only 10 movies available, it wouldn't be too hard to pick one. But with tens of thousands of movies available on Netflix, you might spend so much time browsing through the options that you end up not watching a movie at all. Knowledge has become too overwhelming. We're living in a Library of Babel. We're surrounded by information from every corner of the universe. We have access to the collective knowledge of humanity at our fingertips. Yet most of us feel like we don't understand anything. We're losing our minds because there is too much information out there. The internet was supposed to connect us, but instead, it's isolating us. Like everyone else, we're overwhelmed and completely lost in the Library of Babel. But wait, there's more. In Borges' original story, the Library of Babel was guarded by brutal librarians, who chained visitors to chairs and forced them to read random combinations of letters until they went crazy. Today, we don't need librarians because algorithms have taken over. Google decides what we see, read, believe, and ignore. Our algorithms determine our reality. In a sense, algorithms are the new librarians. Some people locked in the Library of Babel searched tirelessly for the book of books, the one book that contained every other book, the source of all knowledge. They went insane trying to find it. Others locked in the Library of Babel found peace in the chaos. They stopped looking for meaning and started making their own. And that brings us to the final question, which is perhaps the most important. Should we keep searching for the book of books? Is there anything to be gained by searching for truth in an infinite library? Or is it better to stop looking and just make our own meaning? Should we accept the unknown? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm the host. Here are some other videos you might like. And here's a big thanks to our supporters who make videos like this one possible.